Hi, in this video, I'm going to walk you through how to set up Stripe recurring subscription payment from existing customer payment charge. You have the blog post written and you can access it by typing orbisius.com/YouTube and the number 4740, or you can check the description below the video. So one of our customers requested several times that we set him up with a recurring payment. Like we thought that was not important and kind of dismissed it. The lesson here was that, again, we should pay close attention to the client requests as always. Maybe we should have asked the client to check how important this thing was for him from a scale from 1 to 10, and then decide if we should implement this right away or with a delay or ignore the request. And as a result, actually we kind of ignore the request, and as a result, we noticed that the client paid an invoice with a delay in about 1 or 2 weeks, and we had to remind him several times. We have different types of clients, and some of them pay within an hour after an invoice is sent out, or there's others that pay the next day, and also there's bad cases that pay within 3 months, 3 to 6 months. Okay, so back to the Stripe subscription product. The good thing that particular client, the previous payments have gone through Stripe, so we had the payment profile ID, and also actually we didn't have the customer ID there just yet, so that was a good thing, good starting point. The reason that we finally realized that this was important for the customer was that it seems our payment, or the payment for our service, was the only manual thing that they had to pay. We at our Orbisius want to save time and improve productivity and build tools that save people time and money. So we had to come up with a solution, and one option was to create a site that was dealing with the billing stuff, but that was going to take some time. Another option was to try to see if it was possible to set this up via Stripe's control panel. It turned out that we can do majority of the stuff from the UI, had to the Stripe API in order to do some stuff. I'm going to go into that in a second. The prerequisites are, in our case, at least the customer must have made at least one payment, and you need to know a little bit of programming, or you need to be familiar with Linux command line. The steps that we've taken are the following. So the first thing is to create a product, then set up the recurring pricing, and then we need to create a customer, and then attach the payment to the customer, and then finally set up the recurring subscription. To create a product, you need to log in, of course, first, and then go to dashboard.stripe.com or stripe.com, and then on the left hand side check for billing, and then underneath you should see products, and then go to new. Next thing is to set up the pricing, and to make sure that you set up the pricing correctly. It was not easy, or it was rather confusing to have to delete the pricing and enter it again. For some other reason it was not possible, and you can check that discretion on Stack Overflow. And the next step was to create a customer, and you can do that on the left hand side. The menu is called customer, and then click new, and then enter the details there. The next step is to attach the previously made payment to that customer, and you need 3 things. You need your secret Stripe API key, customer ID, and payment method ID. And then the 4th thing is to be able to call a program. In our case, we used a curl to make that request rather than creating a little program that updates that. I'm going to open this API, and that's the API that we've used to do that. That's the example that Stripe gives us. You can pick a different language that you're mostly familiar with, PHP, then you need to download the API and then put the information in and do it. Again, for simplicity, we've used this curl, and we need to change those parameters here. So you need to copy this thing, or the one from the example, and then replace this thing with the customer payment ID, and this here goes your API key, and the customer ID goes here. And you can get those here. So for the Stripe API, you can, actually 1 second, yeah, for the API you need to go to this link, and to get the payment ID you need to go to payments, and then scroll down to payment method, and look for the ID. It should start with PM and then alphanumeric text after it. And to find a customer ID, you need to go to customers, then click on the customer profile and then search again for the customer ID. So when you're good to go, you just need to copy this thing, edit it, and paste it into the command line and watch what the API says. Usually you got an error, we missed something. The next thing is to finally create that subscription. Create a subscription, you need to go to the dashboard of Stripe and then the left-hand side. I believe it's under billing and then subscriptions, and then click on new and follow the prompts. And if you've set up everything correctly, then you'll be prompted to pick the product, pick the customer, and also if you want the payment, recurring payment to start right away or at a scheduled date. That's about it. Thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe. And by the way, if you are using WordPress, maybe you should check out qSandbox.com.